Today we are in Pebble Beach in Monterey Bay, California. You may have heard the name because Pebble Beach has gone on to host 13 U.S. Golf Association professional championships. But I'm here today not because of golf, but because of its natural beauty of the place. And what better way to do that than taking a so-called 17-mile drive through the community. 17-mile drive has always been 17 miles. Surprise, surprise. The scenic drive through Pebble Beach opened about 140 years ago as a tour around the Monterey Peninsula. No surprise here that Pebble Beach has, the 17-mile drive has 17 scenic points where you can stop and admire natural beauty of the place. Big part of the drive is hugging the west coast of Peninsula, but some stops are also kind of inland. I will stop at my favorite ones, and they all are at the coast with Pacific Ocean views. I've started the drive in the north going through the Pacific Grove Gate and will exit via the Carmel Gate in the south. The first stop where I stopped is called the Restless Sea, and it is next to the Point Joe. On the official map it is denoted as number 4 and 5. The Restless Sea got its name because one of the most turbulent sections of coastline are here. Waves are constantly converging and crashing into each other, and it's likely caused by submerged rock. Now we are at the so-called Bird Rock. The wildlife hub is buzzing with birds, harbor seals, and barking sea lions. Bird Rock was actually covered in 5 feet of pelican and cormorant guano until 1930. That year they decided to harvest it as a fertilizer, and sea lions took advantage of the cleaned off space and have been sunbathing there ever since. Here you can see a lot of birds, pelicans and cormorants, and also the deposits of guano again in those, since 1930, 90 years. No one is cleaning it nowadays. And from there we will continue up north to the Siloroc, and from there we will continue to Cypress Point Lookout. Going back to the golf courses, there are 8 of golf courses. You can see it on the left or in front. Most of them, all of them are private, but one of them, the Spyglass Hill Golf Course, which we are passing by, is, I believe, the only public course there. You can play golf there if you wish to drop some serious dough, but the first thing you will have to do is to get on the waiting list. As you can imagine, it's very popular and not easy to get there. All those trees are Monterey cypress trees, and part of the forest of those trees is here, and it continues a little bit beyond the border of Pebble Beach, but they don't grow anywhere else in the world. So after we get to the next point, which will be We are passing Siloroc, and the next point will be... Not many people here, and it's really beautiful. But the reason that it's not crowded is because of the COVID, I think. Normally, I've been here some time ago and it was full kind of in places. And sea lions are still making noise behind me on that little big white rock around it. The birds on the rock are actually cormorants. And over there, those houses in front, this is Spyglass Hill Golf Course. This is all part of 17-mile drive in Monterey Bay. According to some people and organizations, the most scenic drive in the world. I'm not sure about that, but I would say one of the most scenic drives in the world it is, no doubt. And this is old kelp, I guess. They can grow to 30 feet or something like that, and they are plentiful here in Monterey Bay. There are actually kelp forests. It's really peaceful here. Cannot say quiet because of the sea lions, but peaceful, yes. Really nice. Okay, so let's get back on track. Yeah, here we are. You are looking at a national marine sanctuary. In the waters before you lies Carmel Canyon, an arm of 10,000 feet deep Monterey Canyon. In spring and summer, deep, cold, fertile waters well up, feeding the area's marine life. We are still at Cypress Point lookout. This is a spectacular spot where you can catch sunsets and take beautiful pictures. white sand of the beach below is home to harbor seals, who each spring return to bear their young. Therefore, the beach is closed from April 1st to June 1st for the season when harbor seals bear their young. And from here, we will continue to another stop on the 17-mile drive, and it's called the Lone Cypress. And I want to tell you a little bit about it. The Lone Cypress is so famous that Pebble Beach tried to trademark it, and I guess they were successful. And the image, you can see it very frequently on TV whenever there is some golf tournament or something related to Pebble Beach. And the tree itself is 250 to 300 years old, and it's very famous. If you go to San Francisco and buy a calendar, most likely one of the pictures for the month will be on Golden Gate Bridge. If you buy a calendar here in Monterey area in Pebble Beach, I bet you will find the image of the Lone Cypress there. And you will see it's very, very popular. Almost everyone stops there. People take pictures and so on. Here on the left you can see some of the houses that people built there. The community, Pebble Beach community, has about 4,500 residents. It's relatively affluent. I'm surprised the real estate there is very, very expensive. By the way, roughly 2/3 of residents are Republican here. And I think on the left or in the middle you can see slowly emerging the Lone Cypress. Here we take some steps down for a scenic view for the lookout point, and we can contemplate the life looking at the Lone Cypress. It looks like a bonsai, doesn't it? Kind of oversized, but I'm wondering if trees like that inspired Japanese to start the art, I guess, of growing bonsais. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. By the way, many famous people are associated with Pebble Beach and Monterey area for one reason or another. I will mention just a few. For example, Ansel Adams, one of the best known and most influential American photographers of all time, lived on Monterey Peninsula for over 2 decades of his life. And his signature black and white portrayals of Big Sur coastline are breathtaking record of his time here. And of course he's also known for his pictures of Yosemite. And Doris Day, one of American movies' earliest great actresses, lived here also. Salvador Dali, people don't know. People are surprised that Salvador Dali lived here during the Second World War. Basically, he tried to escape Second World War and he ended up here in now defunct Hotel Del Monte. And he got Carmel Art Association up and running and is famous for holding wild parties at Pebble Beach. And as we are driving on the left again is are many magnificent and expensive houses, and on the right are magnificent views of the ocean. Now we are getting to something called ghost trees at Pescadero Point. Ghost trees are unique for kind of spooky sun-bleached cypress trees. It's also a legendary big wave surf spot, and the waves are getting up to 50 feet high in the right winter conditions. And you can see those huge rocks that kind of lost their edges over time due to weather. And it's really beautiful view. Of course, we have warnings everywhere to be careful. Tourists sometimes do stupid things. And getting to what I was talking about earlier, also Jimi Hendrix, who is more known for rock and roll, for his music and the guitar skills than his military career, was actually serving in the armed forces, and he was stationed here in Monterey. And later on he returned for the Monterey Pop Festival, which was one of the first big venues where he played earlier in his career. And last but not least, Joan Baez, singer-songwriter, moved to Carmel Highlands in 1961, which is not exactly here the Pebble Beach, but it's just a stone's throw away from Pebble Beach. And Pebble Beach itself was a location for the HBO show Big Little Lies, which was airing, I think. So we are almost at the end of our drive through 17-mile scenic drive in Pebble Beach. And as I mentioned earlier, this drive scenic route is always in the top 10, maybe top 5 drives in the US, and is visited fairly a lot also by overseas tourists coming to the west coast of United States. So, was it worth it? I would say absolutely. Now, during the COVID pandemic, there are not so many tourists, so you have a lot of places almost for yourself. So, if you like it, please don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, or leave some comment, so I know if you liked it or not. And see you next time. Thank you and take care.